Okay, what are we doing here?
We're busting up the ice so that it is easy to put into some ice kits, some cups with ice in them. We don't have a lot of storage for ice here at the shop. Maybe sometime in the future, if our drinks start selling real well, we might get a countertop ice bin. Where we don't have to open like that. That's an option, like a ice bucket type thing.
Yeah.
But for now, to save time, I'm gonna get you don't have to film this. This should be already in that. The guys put this in here that shouldn't put in here.
Okay. Okay.
Is it ice?
Okay. So the ice scoop should not be in there.
It should be inside the bag.
Okay, inside the bag. But they probably took it in there, washed it, and then left it in there.
Because I never told them not to.
Right.
It's not their fault.
Right.
That anyone did anything wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I'm sorry. I filled these all the way up.
Okay.
I filled them all the way up, and then if someone wants it full of ice, that's already good. But then we can always take some of the ice out and make 2 cups out of 1. That way you've already kind of got.
Okay. Okay. All right.
All the way up to the top. And then
So you leave that in there.
good to go.
And then that goes where? The
That's
ice?
going to live in the freezer over here.
Okay.
With fruit bags.
Okay.
Fruit bags.
With the fruit bags. Okay. Okay.
Alright, so we're going to put these lids on them. Put those guys away.
Okay, and then you just leave them full of ice. That's it.
In the freezer. At some point, we might have some sort of a box to put them into.
Okay.
In fact, we definitely will. I have to find something.
Okay.
Wasn't being cooperative.
Yep.
So you better cooperate.
Uh-huh. And then you just have cups full of ice. Do people order just a cup of ice, or do you use it for something
Well,
else?
I'd already said that.
Okay.
So if someone orders one of our ginger brew or our healthy soda,
this soda's phenomenal.
so we've got these cups ready to go. So if they want it, if someone ordered it right now, what I would do is I'd pull out an empty cup.
Okay.
I'd put half of the ice in here.
Okay.
Then I would say, "Excuse me, miss, is that enough ice for your ginger brew or whatever they ordered?"
Yeah.
And she would say, "Yes, that's perfect." And then once I got her okay, you always ask if they got enough ice.
Yeah.
Then you fill it for them, put the lid on it, and serve it. So
Beautiful.
we've got the ice. Rather than trying to find that bag in here and find the scoop and pour ice into a cup,
Yeah.
which takes time.
Yeah.
It's a time saver. So you've already got your ice in a cup. It's just one less step that you have to do. When someone orders something,
Yes.
all you need to do is find that cup.
So then it's quick and easy. This is an on the spot time saver.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
We're
Oh. Look at this guy. So normally you do already frozen bananas in here, but since we're a whole day early, you can put regular ones in.
Yeah. The orange was definitely frozen underneath there. Tangerine. Now that's a fruit kit. It's going to be a little bit more like a big frozen block, but it blends up okay.
It blends. So
It's just much more ideal to have everything frozen
ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then you'll make the smoothies from that.
Yeah. And we're gonna do we'll do a video on how to make smoothies out of these. In fact, we'll use that exact same one in a minute.
Doesn't it need to already be frozen though to do it?
No, it doesn't necessarily. We don't.
Okay.
It'll blend up. It'll be a good smoothie.
Okay.
It's not gonna be as icy.
Okay.
So The rule making
Yep.
these fruit kits is going to be 50-50. 50% pineapple, 50% banana.
And what's the name of this?
This one, we're making the Greenia Colada smoothie with
The
this one.
Greenia Colada, and that's
Greenia Colada.
bananas and pineapple
Bananas,
frozen.
pineapples, and also greens.
Oh,
So it's like a salad in a cup. It's delicious. It tastes like a trip to the Bahamas, but it's really, really good for you too. It's my favorite smoothie that we have.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so what
Yeah.
we're gonna do is we're gonna get a whole bunch of cups. Fill these with pineapple.
Okay. 50-50,
Yep.
and then you'll put some greens on the top.
Yeah, you'll see when we make the smoothie.
Yeah,
Actually,
okay.
you put the greens on the bottom.
On the bottom.
Head
Okay.
it off.
Got it.
I'm not that mad at you. Don't worry. Right, so this is some other pineapple.
Okay, this is pineapple. Wow. Okay.
This is typically not how we're gonna have pineapple.
Okay,
This
right.
is pineapple that I cut myself. Usually we'll buy the stuff that's already pre-cut.
Yeah.
But, they didn't have any frozen pineapple when I was there that day. So
Yeah.
I bought fresh pineapple, cut it and froze it myself.
And you had to go to a whole different, like to Farmington to get it, right?
Yeah, to get the frozen pineapple. Yeah, they didn't have it.
Because they didn't have it here in Fredericktown.
It's one of the costs of living in the sticks. All right, so when I say 50-50, it's approximate. We're
Yep.
okay with a little bit of deviation.
Yep.
We're perfectly fine. We don't like rules and laws here. There's freedom at the
Yep.
Primal Grill.
But you also want it to be done right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be exact, you're
Yeah,
saying.
if you're
Roughly
within-
50-50.
yeah, if you're within 20% either side, 20% too little pineapple, 20% too much,
Yeah.
it's still going to taste really good and it's going to taste very similar. Most people will not know the difference.
It's amazing how you are the master banana peeler. Okay. Oh, you didn't do all three.
Yeah, well,
Slacking?
I was just trying to get some humility
And
here.
then you get these. Okay, you cut off the end,
Sometimes
the edge.
when they're
Make sure you don't touch the knife to the trash can. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. And then we put these in the freezer to freeze them.
Yep.
And so they're ready to go.
These fruit kits
And
are-
we'll do separate videos on getting them ready to go. Okay, so we're making, what are these called again?
This is the Tangerine Scream Smoothie.
The Tangerine Scream. And so you kind of break it up because these are frozen tangerines. And these are prepped ahead of time. And you want to make sure it's kind of broken up.
Broken.
Yes. So you're not putting in big globs. And it's 50-50. Rough guessing it.
Which is actually, turns out to be about 3 of these tangelos or tangerines that we're using.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
That one's a little bit heavy, this one's a little bit light.
Yeah.
We're just kind of...
You try and roughly make it 50-50.
And you know, if we were totally out of tangerines,
Mm-hmm.
and we, you know, one of these was a little light, I would take a little bit out of the other, all of them, so they're
Okay.
So they might all end up being 40% full instead of
Yeah,
50% full,
got
just to
it.
make it so that you can stretch it and have the maximum amount of fruit kits with as much frozen fruit as you have.
Got it. And then what is this? And then bananas go. So then in that scenario, you put in a little extra banana
Yeah,
just to get through the day.
exactly.
If we're low.
Exactly. That's just how things go sometimes.
Yeah.
You run out of something and you got to make it work. You got to
Right.
make it work. You can't the show must go on.
Yeah.
People are going to walk through the door and they're going to want their smoothies.
And it's still going to be magic.
Absolutely. They won't know the difference.
We're about to show you the magic. We're going to show, so these are just prep. And then we're also going to show how you make them when someone comes in and orders one.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else with this?
We're going to put lids on them and put them in the freezer.
Yep. Okay. And the freezer, that is right there up front, right there on the other side of that door.
We'll do that video too.
Okay.
The banana shells,
Okay.
put them into a bag.
You put them into a
A
bag.
Walmart bag, it's a junk bag that was going to get thrown anyways, thrown away. Instead of just throwing it away, it gets one last use.
Yeah. A lot of times you'll just throw these away, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if we have too many of them.
Yeah.
I like to reuse things. I kind of hate throwing stuff away if I don't have to. And this gives me a chance, instead of buying a bag and using a bag,
Right.
it's just a total waste.
Yep. And you're just taking those home for,
You're going to go in my garden.
okay.
They're going to get eaten by worms and pooped out, and then it's going to be a tomato that we then serve here in a taco.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So you just re-sanitized. You put on new gloves. Okay, and now we're doing, what is this smoothie called?
This smoothie is called the Berry Flower Power.
The Berry Flower Power, baby. And so every time you do a new task, you have to change gloves. Okay. And we'll have a checklist at the night, a closing checklist. So again, we're doing 50-50 here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's more than 50.
That's more than 50, so you'll fix that here in a sec.
So one thing I'll for sure do is I won't stop and fix that right away.
Right.
I'm gonna wait till the end.
Yeah.
You don't just do one cup at a time. You
Yeah.
fill multiple, and then
you adjust from
Yeah.
cup to cup.
precisely.
So like this one, you'll put some into here.
Exactly. But you never want to fix. A lot of employees will stop and try to fix everything as they're going.
Mhm.
That's not a proper way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're always gonna.
And now, yeah, that one. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So now they're close to 50-50-ish.
Pretty close. This one needs maybe take a little bit in there.
Okay.
All look pretty good to me.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, they're all kind of heavy, probably, really.
Okay. A little too much.
Yeah, maybe I will
Okay.
get rid of some of this. And we're not always going to use this exact same mix of fruit.
Okay.
Essentially, this blend is going to have at least 2 types of berries in it.
Okay.
So we might have more than 1 type of berry. We might have more than 3 types. We might have a whole bunch sometimes, but essentially, it's always going to be just a couple different types of berries. And then 50% of that berry mixture,
Okay.
50% of the bananas,
Yeah. And these will generally be frozen bananas. These are partly frozen. We made these earlier. And then we're going to be putting these cups in the freezer. And then they'll be ready to go. And then we're going to show you how to make.
this is our cheat code.
This is our cheat code. Then we're going to show you how to make the smoothie on the spot when someone comes and orders it. And they're ready to go to make. This is just initial prep. So you can be quick, snappy. People don't want to wait around for 20 minutes.
Well, people have a half-hour lunch break.
Right.
They come in for their lunch break. If we can get their food out in a very quick, timely manner,
Yeah.
then they'll come back tomorrow. And they
Yeah.
also might drop a $5 bill in the tip jar.
Yep.
If you take forever to get their order out, they are not going to come back, and they're not going to drop a tip.
Yeah.
And then if we don't have work, then
So it's really important.
you don't have hours. So
Right.
we just, everything comes back to
Excellence.
excellence. We're going to
Everything we do it the best way possible. And if you find a better way, Ben is all ears. But Ben has been doing this. Ben has been doing this for years and years and years.
almost 200 years. I've been doing it for almost 200 years.
200 years. And so make sure he's open to other people having other ways that are better ways of doing stuff. Ben is always open to that. But just make sure you bounce it off him first. All right. So now you've done 50-50. Now what are we doing? What is this?
This is our hibiscus. This is the flower part of this. Hibiscus is the second most antioxidant rich food on earth.
Wow. And was that also in the freezer with this stuff?
No.
It's not.
It's dry. It's shelf stable.
Shelf stable. Okay. So this is an antioxidant.
Well,
and so you're putting in about a half one of those.
So it's 1 ounce. One
ounce.
1 fluid ounce goes into each.
Okay.
Which makes it, hibiscus makes it really tart. Makes it really red. It's got a really it's a natural red dye.
Yeah.
And so it makes it look cool. It also makes it taste amazing. It's got a very tangy, almost like lemonade-y flavor. It's freaking delicious.
That's amazing.
And it's very good for you. What we always cook for health here at Primal Grill. It's not just about the flavor, although it has to taste good or we're not going to sell it.
Yeah.
But it also has to be good for people. And this hibiscus is really, really good for you.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay. All right, so that'll go back in the freezer. The lids will go on this, and these cups will then go in the freezer right outside this door. Okay. So,
man, you're a freaking health department inspector.
Yeah.
Qualified here.
So he just pulled out the greens, coconut milk, pineapple juice.
So,
okay, so what is this for? Now we're making the smoothies. What is this one?
We're going to do the Greenia Colada.
The Greenia
We're
Colada.
making all of the smoothies right now, but so the Greenia Colada is going to get roughly 2 kale leaves.
Roughly 2 kale leaves.
We'll have other types of greens as well. We will have collard greens. We'll have chard.
Yeah.
We might put a little parsley in here at times as well, but
okay.
This is what we got right now.
Okay.
That was already half of it.
And so this is kale.
This is kale.
And this, the Greenia Colada has also pineapple and banana.
Pineapple and banana frozen
Okay.
already.
It's already frozen.
So now what you do is you fill this cup with pineapple juice. You fill it all the way up to the very top.
Okay.
Now you know when you pour this out of here, you're gonna have at least enough to fill this cup. As long as you fill that all the way up to the top with liquid.
Yeah.
If you fill it not enough, then when you pour this out, you're not gonna have enough liquid to fill your cup. And then that's not being efficient.
Got it.
Now we're gonna pour about 1 fluid ounce.
1 fluid ounce.
Coconut milk. When it's cold, it kind of
coconut
comes out
milk.
thick.
Okay.
It might be a little bit heavy, but
Maybe a bit heavy. Okay.
that's good.
Okay. All right.
With the lid
So
on.
the cup was already ready, and boom, you can just go. And all that stuff mostly is frozen or cold.
Yep. We've always got this right behind the blender. This is a tamper. So if you had a big chunk of frozen fruit in there that just was not wanting to blend, you put this through the hole in the top, smash it down there, and you could turn this blender on while it's in there. And it can't get into the blades because it's made so just
because of this,
blades.
it's got its
just stop it.
right.
So this is
But you don't need it on this one.
It's blending pretty good already. Yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention. You do always want to make sure that you have your hand on top of the blender when you're starting it. If a big frozen chunk of fruit stops the blades, it can pop off while it's on and strip out the gears and break the whole blender, and then we won't have a blender. So
yeah, you want to pressing down
until
on it.
it's going, and you know that there's no big chunks of ice that are going to stop it. Now you can close it.
Okay.
You always kind of have to stand by in case something happens. You turn it off right away.
Okay.
If something happens, I just turn that button off right away.
Okay.
You're going to let it blend for at least 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
Now you've already got your cup that you had the frozen fruit in. So you're going to refill the exact same cup with the smoothie.
Yeah.
Don't get a new cup. This cup is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Same ingredients that are in there are in this cup. You're not doing anything wrong with this.
Right.
And the cup's already cold.
The cup already is cold and ready to go. You just use the same cup. So 60 seconds. Wow.
45 seconds to 60 seconds.
Okay.
Now, there's all a piece of frozen pineapple can sneak through that. So you still, when you're pouring this,
Yeah.
you want to look, as you're pouring it, look for any big chunks in there.
Yeah.
Again, the name of the game is excellence. You wouldn't want a big frozen chunk of pineapple in your smoothie. You want everything to be blended up.
Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful.
You've got the green colada. Now, the cool thing about this, when you eat a salad, you're supposed to chew 30 times between bites in order to get all the nutrition out of the greens. No one chews 30 times, but the blender basically does it for you. This tastes really good, and you're getting a huge amount of nutrition in a delicious smoothie. This is a really neat way to get your greens.
That is beautiful, baby. Okay, so now on this one.
This next smoothie that we're making is the berry flower power.
Berry flower power. And what is this, kale?
This is kale.
And you got it out of the fridge.
Yep. Again, we're gonna have different types of greens. Today we're using kale. Sometimes we'll use different types of greens and
Okay.
whatever. It's gonna be roughly 2 big leaves, just like the green colada.
Okay.
It's your berry flower power. You got your berries, your bananas, and also the hibiscus in there.
Oh, the hibiscus. Is it in there?
It's in there.
Wow.
Yep. Now we're gonna top that off with grape juice.
You top it all the way off. Okay. Okay.
Now put that into. The one thing with the hibiscus is you might get little chunks of hibiscus in there.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I don't super like having those big chunks in there, so we'll use. Right now I'm gonna.
You might just rinse it off or put a little water
I'm
in.
gonna
Okay.
use filtered water,
Filtered water.
and then just kind of get it in there. 'Cause
Oh, and then it's at the side of the cup too.
yeah, it's on the side. That's not that big of a deal. I don't have to get every little piece out, especially if you've got a customer waiting for their order.
Okay.
Just get it going.
Get it going.
But that was a lot. That was an excessive amount of the hibiscus that was in there.
Okay.
All right, so it started on low. Always started on low.
You always start it on low.
Press down on the top of the blender,
Yep.
and then.
Oh yeah. Do a little dance, and you go 45 to 60 seconds. The kale goes right there. A lot of these drinks go in here, and it's a refrigerator.
Hold on, I'll say it.
Okay. And now, when did you twist it to high?
Once it started going, once I knew all the frozen fruit was starting to blend.
Okay. Then you switched it to high. Okay. Okay.
All right, so
Beautifully done. These are amazing.
now I forgot to mention with that last one we made, I used the very last of the pineapple juice for when we made the green colada, and I took it out. When you notice that you have an empty bottle, if you make that smoothie, it's your responsibility to find another pineapple juice bottle and put one back in there. You can only store one of each type of juice bottle in this fridge.
In that fridge.
So we store extra juice inside here in between the kegs back in there.
Okay.
Sometimes there might not be one in there, and we've also got this area back here that we store juice.
Okay.
This wouldn't be a cold juice. It's going to be under this grill.
Okay.
It'll be way back in there. We might find a new place, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
if you get hired, if you're lucky enough to get hired here. But yeah. But if you use the last of a juice bottle,
Yeah.
even if you're starting to run out, if you know you've only got one more smoothie in there, you better know where that next bottle of juice is, so that in a rush, you're not looking everywhere for another juice bottle.
Yes.
And you know exactly where it is, and you can do a quick changeover. in the moment of
yeah. And you fill it to here. Is that normally?
No.
You'll go even higher.
Fill it all the way. I'm just gonna drink some of this because you already had a smoothie. I'm gonna have some too now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. All right. Beautiful.
Take your lid off. I'm gonna complete is the tangerine scream.
Next smoothie is a tangerine scream with bananas and tangerines, pineapple juice.
Well, it's pineapple, orange. It's apple, orange, pineapple.
Apple,
Now,
orange, pineapple.
Not always going to be this. It's always going to be a either a pineapple juice or orange pineapple juice.
Okay. That's awesome. And you top it off. Beautiful. So these were frozen in that freezer right there. You get the drinks out of there.
And this is how they store in here all this stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yep.
juice bottles in the back, kale up there, coconut milk in the door.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you just pour it in. That's frozen.
I'm gonna put some coconut milk in there.
No?
When it's not on the menu.
Sometimes coconut milk.
Well, I like it for myself, and we're probably going to change the. Well, I'll probably honestly change the ingredient list on the menu.
Okay.
It's not in there yet, but
So it's on low. Yep.
always test it, make sure it's on low.
And you're pressing down. And then you close it and turn it on high for 60 seconds.
We'll probably get a timer at some point.
Yeah, we'll get a timer maybe. That's a good idea. You make sure it stays on. And you turn it to low. You turn it off. Make sure it all grinded well. If you need to, you use that thing to push it down.
Tamper. I'm going to put some coconut milk.
Little coconut milk.
This really makes this smoothie awesome.
Okay. And you're saying you might eventually do that for all these.
Yeah, it'll probably be done because it really makes it taste good.
Okay. That's awesome. You pour it in as high up as you can, right? Okay. All right, and then we need to show us how to wash this.
Okay. Yeah.
Show us how to wash it, okay?
So
this
is our bottle blaster. That little metal bar right there, when you press down, water shoots out of that pipe. High velocity, straight up.
high velocity.
So sometimes if you're just gonna make another smoothie, you can just do a quick rinse out.
Yeah.
Like this. Make sure that it won't rinse the entire thing from one area, so you kind of have to hit it at least two corners.
Two corners, okay.
Now it's rinsed the entire thing. If I'm done making smoothies and this is an actual real wash, then we get the bottle brush, which gets stored right there.
Yeah.
Put
two squirts.
of soap,
Okay.
and then you go in between each blade and you spin it that way, spin it that way. Go to the next blade, spin it that way, spin it that way. That way it's cleaning underneath
Yeah.
each blade. Each blade is getting a scrub. Now you go each side a couple times.
Okay. And you only need to do this like if it's the end of the day.
No. I soap it out when I know that
Okay.
I'm not going to make another smoothie for a while.
Okay.
So if I'm selling smoothies, then there's no point.
Right.
It's just a waste of time.
Right.
But if it's going to sit there for more than 10 minutes,
Okay. Then you want to rinse it. You want to wash it like that.
wash it with soap.
Beautiful.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we will also sanitize it before we put this blender away for the night.
Okay. We sanitize it at the end of the night. That'll be at the end of the night checklist. Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Blender's clean.
Boom. After you clean the blender.
After you clean the blender, then you got to clean the lid. Now you have to take this lid off. A lot of times there's going to be little pieces of fruit that hide under here. So just make sure we put some soap on that, scrub all the ridges. Every little spot on this lid is going to get some soap on it.
Okay. Little scrub.
Little scrubby dub. In there.
And on that.
Every part gets soaked.
Yeah, okay. And then thoroughly wash it. Nice.
Cool.
Boom. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, and after you wash both parts.
Both parts, this is clean, sanitized, and now it needs to dry. You can put the lid inside it like that. Do not store the blender with the lid.
Oh, because
like
it'll get moldy.
Exactly. It's just
Okay.
it can't dry, so you need to let it breathe.
Yeah.
So,
Like that. Got it. Beautiful. Okay.